everybody. We have been looking very much forward for this webinar at Primo, where we are going to talk about this one here, that is backdoor sealing. And my name is Jesper Thomsen. I'm responsible for our segment as Business Area Director. And to take you through this event, I have my two colleagues here. I have
Tommy Kammersgaard. I'm responsible for the R&D here at Primo.
And my name is Henrik. I'm one of the key account managers here at Primo.
Thanks a lot. We will start out with a presentation of Primo. Into Primo, who are we today? We are an international organization in 8 countries with 12 locations. We have more than 60 years of experience in extruding. We are around 1,000 employees in Primo today. We are placed in Scandinavia from Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, also locations in the Netherlands, 3 locations in Germany, Poland, and also in China. In all those locations where we are extruding profiles, we have split it up in segments because we are delivering into the same areas mostly. The area which we are concentrating on today is transport and traffic, and we are going to talk about the door sealings. We will talk about the corner welding, the anti-friction, the gluing on the door. What will give you the advantage by using this? You will get significant shorter lead times to manufacture that, and you will higher your quality. So we have made a small video where we will go through Innovate Together. We will go through our standard system. What is the advantage of this? We will give you the opportunity to develop your own system, and we will take you through how do we steer that, and we will show you the welding process. In this demonstration, we will also look very much forward to a lot of questions. So don't hesitate to send messages to us in the show, and we will answer that live after the session. We will take you through Innovate Together. And what is Innovate Together? We jump on a train and we jump off. Depends on where you are in your process. We have customers, they need a standard solution. We can offer that. We also have customers, they have started up with a design by themselves, and we help them through how must those profiles be designed. We have a laboratory where we will go in and we will see welding process, and we will also see how do we develop and help them through this.
Yes, here we are at a mock-up of a back door of a cooling trailer, and we're going to show you some things about the not Primo system versus the Primo system. We of course hope that we will see you all at the IAA late September in Hanover, and we of course will invite you to come and see and have a feeling of this for yourself. In about 10 seconds, I'm going to show you one of the very, very big challenges of a not Primo system, where the gasket is made out of EPDM.
Another thing which is quite important, if there is any questions coming up here at our seminar, feel free to text us and we will answer you as good as we can.
Yeah. Yes. What I told you is one of the challenges, and what I'm going to do now is quite challenging actually, because it's not because I'm heavy enough and I'm not weak, but this is very hard, and I need to cover my. So here we got it. One of the big challenges of this EPDM gasket is, as you saw, friction, and it's hard to get a door opened. Next challenge is that you cannot weld the corners of EPDM. You have to vulcanize or glue it, And the known systems are very hard and time consuming because you need to put in metal profiles to keep the gasket in place. This again gives you possibilities of spoiling the gasket. When moist gets in, it cools down, it freezes, and then you have a spoiled gasket.
Yes, thank you, Henrik. What I will show you a bit is Primo system here. How is that built up and what kind of material are we using here? The material is tested material which have been on the roads for many years, used by the biggest producers in the world. And what we have done to achieve a low friction opening in the door is that we have on the lips we have put in anti-friction. That means that the door can open and close very easily. There's another good advantage by that. There will not come any ice on your door. So in this system you have here, often we see ice problems, also because there are lags in the corners here. So build-up of ice will damage the ceiling. That will not happen here. That is a good selling point for you and up against your customer here. If you're looking at the door, how we're opening it, it's built up in the same way as Henrik's, but it is so easy to open. You will, when you come and visit us at our stand in Hanover at the ER, also have the possibilities to go around and see some of the big producers where the ceiling are used today. So you physically can feel a big door, how does that work? So that is a good thing to do. Another good thing about the ceiling is in the inside. It's a bit milky. And this is called Bondafine, and you don't have to put any primer when you glue it on your door. So we show you and your employees how to mount that on the door and how to glue it on. The advantage by the gluing is that it is very tight. It also makes the door strong, and you won't get any moisture inside here. And that often causes by those systems here that you get ice build-up and the door is going to be damaged. When you are mounting this one here, the advantage is also that you can do that very fast. You have a in-house welding equipment from Primo, and we will teach your employees how to use that, and it is very easy. I will show you how to do that. I'm a sales guy, and normally we use our technical guys to do that, but even I can do that, so everybody can do it. You will also have the possibility at the ER to try it by yourself to see how easy it is. So in your production, you don't need a lot of space. You build up a small stock and you weld your door ceilings by yourself and mount them on your door, and it's going very fast. This is the standard system which we are using, but we also have the possibility to help you if you are going with ideas that you're designing a new door. And then we have our colleague Tommy. He will show us how that is done and the possibilities you have here.
And thank you, Jesper. As Jesper said, you're very welcome to ask all the questions you have during this presentation. But nevertheless, when we look at our process here, where we develop our solutions together with the client, sometimes the client has an idea, and sometimes they have the final design. And if they don't have the idea yet, then they'll just come to us and present their needs, and then we'll try to help them getting the idea in the first place. When we have the idea in place, then we go and take a look at the materials and say, okay, which types of materials is needed in this case, how's the process going to be, and so on at the factory. And we also go and take a look at the design, of course, to see if we can optimize anything on the thermal values and also in the tightness and so on. And we go in and take a look at your process to make sure that the profiles is going to be according to the needs you have in your process in the factory. When we have done that, then we have, through a few iterations, I'm sure, then we have the possibility of starting to make some prototypes. And the prototypes can be made either by 3D printing, like this one here. We can make them in long lengths and so on also, so we have a good picture of how the test is going to be performed with real materials. Then we have the possibility also to make prototype tooling, which of course is not going to be used in the process later on, because we need some production tools, but nevertheless then we can test in real materials and get the feedback from the test we need. Then we have different tests we can perform, and as I said before, we have the possibility of making a FEM calculation and see which thermal possibilities we can have in your design. If there's anything that needs optimization, then we'll do it. We can also do like this, so we have an air, water and wind tests where we can apply some overpressure and see how much wind is going to get through the system here. So here we have a back door like this with a chamber, and then we have both the possibility of putting on a positive pressure and negative pressure, and then we can see how much air is going to escape in this setup. And doing that, we can of course optimize the whole system until now we have the right solution, everybody is happy, and then we make a report with the calculations and the feedback from the test, you can say. We can also make lots of other testing, so like this one where we make some mechanical tests or whatever is needed. So we'll just define that through the process of the design and development. That's more or less it. So now over to Jesper again.
What I will show you here is a welding process, as I mentioned, even a sales guy like me can do that very easily. What we have decided is to show you the small welding light version. We have two machines. The time is exactly the same if you take the big one or the small one. The process is working like that we have a heating mirror. We stick that through here and then we heat the material up so it melts. And if we could have a small clip down here, I want to show you how that works. This is a mirror. We stick it in here and we clamp this one on so we have contact to the profiles. The profiles is getting melted. We are up around 250 degrees, and I will use a clock here, so I have a time of around 50 seconds to heat it up. Afterwards we will cool it down for around 1 minute, and the system here is built up in a way that you have those plates here, and they are so flexible that even the big ones you can see here, this is for 85mm door, they fit in here, and they fit in together with the center profile, so you have the possibility only with this to weld between 18mm up to 85mm. So it gives you a big advantage that you don't have to change those the whole time. This is of course our standard system. This system here, the way of doing that, if you decide to design your own gaskets, will be special made for you. We have the system running around the whole world, and it is in whole Europe. They're using it. The biggest producers in Europe are using our system today. England, Ireland, Scotland, Finland, South Africa, Poland, Dubai, the Emirates, Australia and Korea. So it is very popular, and come visit us at ER and we will show you how that works. I will try to take this one out now and clamp it together, and then we have to cool it down a bit. Now we have waited around a small minute, and what I will do now, I will take it out And yes, now we are done. And to get a good welding, you can easily rear that off. So you have the birds here, and then you have a perfect welding. You just snap it up with a small thing here. Now we have a perfect welding. And you're ready for the next corner. What we normally do is when we weld the big frames, you turn that around and you're fixing that, and the other one is heating up here. That was all we had today in our webinar, and we hope that it was interesting for you and you have the possibility to visit us at the ER. Send an email, give us a call, and we will set up an appointment, and looking very much forward to see you.
So try with this microphone instead then.
Good, Tommy, you are the expert here. we try once again. Thanks for watching our little show here, and we hope that have inspired. We can see of all the questions we have got that there is a lot of attention on it. And Tommy, will you read up some of those questions?
Yeah, we'll try to see if we can find some good ones. We have one here, which is about the mounting time and the welding time. How does that work?
That's a good question and very relevant also. You can say that when you get a welding machine into your production, we will be able to come and help you to instruct all the people there how to weld and how to mount. And we actually have a good example from South Africa, where we went down and we helped the people down there. They had the system Henrik showed on the other door where it was stripped off. They had normally a sampling time of 2 days, around 16 hours. And when we left, they did that in 4 hours by themselves. So they saved a lot of time by doing that, and they hired the quality a lot. So that is a good example of you can say an extreme example of where they have saved a lot of time. Yeah.
So that means, because we also have a question going on education, that's what you do. You go out and try to educate the guys on site.
Yeah. Exactly. That is when we are starting up with new customers. Normally they say they want to test that on a cooler before they are buying and installing all that. So we make frames here and send it to them and help them to mount it, and then they test it on the road. Does everything work as they have planned? And afterwards we send out machinery and we go and help them start everything up, educate the people, and we don't leave before it's working. Yeah. Good. Actually got another question here, is also relevant, Tommy, and that is sustainability and recycling of this material which we're using today. How does it work?
Yeah, well, normally when we produce the profile and so on, we always have some scrap in the beginning and the ends also of the orders, and that's possible for us just to put directly into a shredder and pelletize it again, and then produce it again directly into the production. And that's of course of offcuts and so on also. So that's also a possibility when looking towards our clients, that we can make a direct deal with you as a client, that if you have some scraps, offcuts, then we can take it all back and reuse it directly in the gasket again.
No, that's a good point. It's also a good, let's say, point for their environment, and which we are confronted with in daily business, the sustainability that you're taking a part of.
Of course, when if without many years, when the gasket has gone broken and so on, it can be replaced, and the old one can be just torn into the regranulate again and be used again. So that's a nice way of doing it. And that's one of the big advantages here
when talking about thermoplastics slash EPDM, which does not have these possibilities.
Yeah. So a good selling point for your customers also that you are sustainable. Would like to say that we also will, after this session here, send email to you where there is a link to this video so you can see it again. And we will be very pleased to welcome you next week. The show is going on in Hanover, the ER fair, and we are in hall 25 at the stand E65. Write to us if you need tickets or anything, and we'll be happy to see you there. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Goodbye.